Welcome to Operating Systems Unit 9, Part 2. Today we're going to talk more about semaphores, and we're going to do a counting semaphore and an example. So if you have this code right here, which is also on Blackboard in a PDF, you might want to take a look at the code. I'm just going to animate what's going on with this code. We have two semaphores. We have SR, which is a counting semaphore initialized to 3 for our 3 bank tellers here, which could be any identical resource. But then we have a semaphore S, which is initialized to 1 because S is going to be a semaphore for so that once you get past that there are any of the resources available, you only want one process to select that resource that's available and go in and set the flag. Because if you allow more than one process to go in there and access the resources, then you might have two processes getting the same resource. So take a look at the code. The SR semaphore is a counting semaphore that's also complex. So those processes that it's initialized to 3 since there's 3 resources, and when it gets to 0, any of them will have to block while waiting. And semaphore S just is a busy waiting semaphore. So here we have our first process arrives, and he changes SR to 2 because it was a 3. And he also changes S to 0 so that it'll block out any other process while he goes to choose the one of the 3 resources. Now we have another process arrive, and he's going to change SR to 1, but he cannot go in there to select his resource because he's blocked out until the first process selects his resource. And now we have another process arrive, and now SR is 0, so any other processes that arrive are going to have to wait. So this next one here is going to have to wait. But in the meantime, while this one arrived, the one that's in there has selected his banker and the other one is out here blocking because he's waiting. And after the one has selected his bank, he's going to now change S back to 1 so the rainbow guy can go in there next and select banker. So the rainbow guy is now in there. He changed to S to 0 so that the dark blue guy has to wait. And he's seen his banker. He selects his banker and then now clears that semaphore S. And now the dark blue guy can go in there and select his banker. So now we have 3 processes in there, all using their bankers, and SR is 0, so the ones that are out here waiting are going to block while they're waiting. So they'll block while they're waiting, and then when one of the processes that's with the banker finishes, they're going to clear the flag of that banker and leave, and instead of that's the SR semaphore. Instead of changing the value of the SR semaphore, they're just going to wake up the first one in the queue, and it's going to stay 0. So it says up there, the signal says if SR is equal to 0 and there's a process waiting, you wake up the one in the queue. So you don't actually change the value of SR. And now this process goes in there, changes S to a 0 so that it can pick its banker and picks its banker. And then again, this will continue until all of the processes have used their bankers or any other processes arrive.